Hello and welcome to this heart chakra and the inner child video that is part of this series that Angèle has put together. So we're going to want to pay particular attention to this video if you have a bit of an inner perfectionist, an inner people pleaser, an inner child who really just wants everybody to get along. And for everybody to get along, she will overgive, overplease. She will over feel everybody else's emotion, overtake responsibility for everybody's emotion. So if those are some tendencies that you have, this video is for you. And on the other hand, if you have some tendencies to close off and to build walls and to judge yourself and others and spend a lot of time in resentment, spend a lot of time in being overextended and feeling a little about people, this video is really for you. So as you see, I'm here with my little outer child doing this video. My name is Inga Brewer. I'm an energy healer and teacher. I've been doing this work professionally for a good 8 years. And over those years, I have held so many people through inner child healings. And I can tell you it's one of the most efficient things you can do to heal your energy system. So I'm going to be super real with you. My heart chakra was not open today. It was having a hard time trying to make this video for you while my little baby boy also wants his mama. And that is perfectly lovely and perfectly normal. And my heart chakra was all closed because I had this idea of perfection and professionalism and doing this video in a certain way that I would have done it before baby. But here he is, and that's my reality. And that is something I have to force to be accepted. So I'm doing this video with him. And it won't be perfect. And he might make some noises. And he might squirm everywhere. And I am now willing to accept that. Now, I hope that can model a little bit of what this can look like in my very imperfect way. What I want to provide you with in this video is a little bit of an idea of what is the heart chakra. Why is inner child healing such an efficient way to work with your heart chakra? Tips to work in meditation with your inner child. And tips for if life looks a bit like for me right now where you are simply overextended, you don't have a lot of time to meditate, then I want for you to have some really practical tips. Some really practical things you can do during the day that don't take a lot of attention but are efficient to help heal your inner child and balance your heart chakra. Because these exist and these are totally possible. So let's get into it. The heart chakra is located sort of in the middle of the chest. You don't have to worry about finding your physical heart. Your energetic heart is really in the middle. The color is green. And at its core, it's all about accepting and acceptance. So I'm not talking like, oh, I don't like the way things are, but I'll accept it because I have no choice. That's more resignation. Acceptance from the heart is really like, wow, this is life. And I'm going to embrace every single little aspect of life and make it into a work of art anyway. So here we go. We got little baby disturbances. And if you're watching this video and Angèle brought you together, I'm sure some of you are moms and it's hard. And there's a lot of heart chakra stuff to work through because we do have to grieve the way our lives were before, and we have to accept that our realities have an extra dimension in them. And that comes with tremendous love. of course. So the heart chakra, with its center around acceptance and unconditional acceptance, when it's balanced, we kind of have a posture with life where we're like, yes, and yes, and yes, and we really flow with life, and we are in love with life. We receive from life and we give to life in a very balanced, easy way. When we're children, like this little guy right here, we learn the template of this, and that gets coded in our heart chakras. So he's a bit young right now. He's still working through his sort of root chakra, starting his sacral chakra things. But a little bit later on, when we're kids, we start having a concept of I'm lovable or I am not lovable. And despite our parents loving us, there are times where we are maybe led to understand that there's certain things that make our parents react badly. And through no real fault of our parents, because nobody is sort of a Zen perfect person at all times, children can get the idea that there's something that they're doing that is quote unquote bad. And they interpret that something that they're doing not as I'm doing something bad, but I am bad and I am not lovable. So they see their parents' unhealed things or their caregivers' unhealed things, and they kind of think it's their fault. They think they did it. It's because of them that the parents divorced. It's because of them that the parents are irritable. It's because of them that things aren't going in a very smooth way. And that is a faulty conclusion, right? It's not because of the child that the parents divorced. It's not because of the child that the parents are irritable. It's not because of the child, etc., etc. But to protect the child's sort of sense of self and self of agency, they take that all the way in. And when we conclude somehow, somewhere, that we're not lovable, we come up with all sorts of strategies to become lovable. So in the heart, when it's overly open, what we're doing is we're kind of reading every cue from everybody around us and really trying to anticipate what needs there might be, trying to anticipate what we can do to please that person so that they can love us, what we can do for them to feel loved. And we become very, very outwardly loving people that are very nice to be around. When we do that, though, it's because in the back of our mind, it's because I'm not lovable that I have to work super hard at being lovable. And what ends up happening is we overgive, and then there's nothing left for ourselves. And so what often happens is then we get the opposite expression of the heart chakra, which is a closed heart. And we go, see, nobody gets me. Nobody loves me. Nobody's able to give to me the way I need to receive. Nobody sees me. Nobody hears me. I don't matter. So goodbye, everybody. I'm going to do it on my own. I can't count on anybody. I'll do it on my own. I'll do it by myself. I'm strong enough. I'll do it on my own. And so for a lot of people, we flip in both. And so because this can be rooted in childhood and not necessarily with parents, it can be the school system that taught us this. It can be other caregivers. It can be just the culture in general that gives us these messages. But the end result is we have a distorted relationship with love and acceptance. And so working with our inner child, working with the imprint of that childhood experience that is still in our energy system, is tantamount to really working with that energy pattern at its core. So instead of trying to fix our behavior and instead of trying to fix the people around us, we go straight to the inner source of our inner child and help her feel loved, help her understand that she is lovable. She doesn't have to work so hard at it. She doesn't have to shut everybody else out. And working at that level, from my experience holding probably hundreds of people through this, it's absolutely incredible how working at that deep level starts to have all of these ripple effects in all of your relationships and your friendships and your relationships with your parents and your relationships with your partner and your relationship with your kids. Because all of a sudden you don't have to spend so much time proving that you're lovable. And you get to actually start taking care of yourself, actually starting to fill your own cup, and actually start giving from an overflow and playing and being joyful, etc., etc. So, that is part of why working with your inner child is so, so efficient. So in these last 11 minutes, I've thrown a lot of information at you, a lot of concepts. I invite you to just take a deep breath and notice in your body where all of this lands. Do you recognize yourself? What resonates here? Are you going ding, 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 yep, 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 yep? Yeah. Are you going, yeah, the inner child stuff resonates, but it's in a different chakra. And that's amazing information. So regardless of what is happening, I want to give you some heart-centered tips to work with your inner child in meditation. So the best way to do this is probably to take another deep breath. So put a hand on your heart. Close your eyes as you exhale. And just whisper to yourself, hello, little one. And because I have a baby in my arms, I'm going to actually model this for you with this little baby. Woo! Hey, little one. Yeah, and so you might have an image show up and check how old she is, what she looks like, what she's wearing. And of course, you might take so much more time to do this. But the first thing you want to do is just look at her. And she might not behave the way you think she should. But you just welcome whatever's here. And you say hello. Hi. Hi. And then a really beautiful heart-centered way to go from there is to name what you're seeing her doing. So in this case, hey, I see you're bouncing all over the place and you want to look at everything. Yeah, that's okay. That's good. Yeah, now I see you're smiling and jumping and you want to play. That's good. That's welcome. And so whatever comes up, you just add, that's okay, that's welcome, that's good, I see you. And the healing aspect here is simply to give your full attention in a loving way. No agenda, no conditions. Hey, you trying to tell me something? You want a drink? Oh, you want to stand? Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at yourself at the screen, huh? Yeah. That's okay. take some deep breaths, and all you do is just sit next to her. And that is it. And you let her be who she is. So this is how you decondition all the conditioning. You're angry. You're shut down. You feel so misunderstood. And as you do that, she'll respond. And this is all in your imagination, but she'll respond. And you just continue going, yeah, I see that. It feels scary for you that I see you. I see that you're mad at me for not seeing you sooner. And the really important thing is you don't defend yourself. You don't make excuses. You don't give advice. You don't turn away. You offer your unconditional acceptance. Yeah, you're making noises while Mama is filming. Yeah. Now you're eating your mat. There you go. You're being a really good model. Thank you. Thank you. You're being such a good model. So, really, it sounds so simple. But with that one tip alone, you can go so far. And you can apply this tip with the inner child that's working through things at the third eye, the throat, the solar plexus, the sacral, the crown, the root, anywhere. At your boundaries, just being there with her. That deconditioning, that accepting really allows for healing to start happening. So that is my one tip. As for a tip to continue doing this work, as you get triggered in daily life, as you get uncomfortable because people are fighting, uncomfortable for so many things, one tip is just to put your hand on your heart and take a breath. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, sort of whisper on the inside to yourself, I see you. I hear you. I see you. I hear you. Another good tip is to name for yourself what's happening. Look at yourself as if you were a child. I see this day is a lot for you. So for me today, what I had to do is say, I see that you feel a little overextended with the baby and making this video, this commitment that you really want to keep. That's okay. I see you. I hear you. And if it's genuine, you can add, I love you. I love you anyway. And these are not excuses to keep going with a behavior that isn't helpful. What it is a way to create a nuance for yourself, a difference between I am doing something that isn't so helpful versus I am someone who isn't so helpful. So I love you, and even if you're smoking cigarettes all day, I see you. I see there's something underneath that. I see that you want to quit, but that you can't quit. I love you. Isn't to say, yeah, keep smoking every day, but it's like it doesn't matter if you smoke or not. You're still lovable. Or it doesn't matter if you're irritable or not. You're still lovable. It doesn't matter if you're overextended or not. You're still lovable. And from that place, now you can start doing something about the behavior. So whether that's smoking or snapping at everybody or going to bed really late. So that's it. And then the final tip that I think is overarching for this whole series is truly to see yourself as an innocent, sweet little child, because we were really all sweet and innocent like this. once upon a time and just drooling and putting cold drool in our mama's faces. And sometimes our mamas were like, ah, like I'm doing right now. And that doesn't mean she doesn't love us. It's just cold drool in her face. Not so fun. And we are still utterly and completely lovable. All right, I'm going to end there. Yeah, once again, my name is Inga Broer. I teach Reiki. I teach how not to take on energy. I teach inner child healing. But I am on maternity leave. So if you want to go further with the inner child healing, I know you're in amazing, amazing hands with Angèle. Really. This woman knows that work. So I really encourage you to check out what she's offering. Okay. Bye.